सर्वांनी म्यूट करावे. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay,
Good afternoon, sir.
सर ऐड हो गए क्या एक बार सेव तो कर दो. Good afternoon, everyone. Today's our resource person is Dr. Jagdish Kulkarni, sir, Director of Library Sciences. He is delivering the lecture in our coursework. I will hand over to him. Sir, please proceed. You are the co-host of the meeting. You can unmute, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you all? First, let me congratulate you all for getting admission for PhD course. I think there are more than 84 participants which have joined this PhD coursework. Actually, it is called as a pre-PhD coursework because now we have to complete it before joining the RRC. Okay. I hope how many lectures has been over? How
Sir,
many lectures has been conducted?
just one lecture of Sinku, sir. Our coursework is started from today morning.
Okay, today morning itself. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Okay, okay. So
All participate are
students
muted,
are
sir.
okay.
Only host can unmute them, sir. Sorry for interruption. Dr. Jagdish Kulkarni, sir, network problem is there. He is left out the meeting. He is trying to rejoin. He rejoined now. Yes, he is.
Sorry,
Okay, sir.
I was discontinued because of network issue. Let me share my visual. I hope. The topic which is assigned for me is a scientific inquiry. In your syllabus, this is the first paper. The topic is from first paper, that is the research methodology. And respected Sinku Kumar sir might have covered the first topic, that is meaning, concept, nature, steps, types, and characteristics of research. Okay. So this is the topic, and you can see the beautiful picture of Knowledge Research Center of Swami Ramanand Maratha University. So what I am going to cover today, it's a very small topic, but there are small entities that I will going to discuss in detail. So I will first let you know about the university, let you know about the Knowledge Resource Center of this university, about the coursework and its syllabus. Then Key concepts related to the scientific inquiry, that is what is research, what is science, what is scientific, what is inquiry versus inquiry, then inquiry versus research, forms of inquiry, and elements of inquiry. Then next, this is related to the theme of the topic, that is scientific inquiry. In that, we'll discuss origin and development, definitions of scientific inquiry, then purpose, what is the purpose, what are the characteristics, what are the functions, what is importance, what are the types, what are the methods, what are the steps, stages, process, skills, principles, cycles, roadmap, and the questions, probable questions which can be asked on this scientific inquiry. So first, let me introduce about this university. This university is Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathwada University, as you all know. Mr. Praveen Gaikwad, please don't draw any sketches on the screen. Mr. Praveen Gaikwad, please. Then the university has been established on 17 September 1994. Most of the persons from Marathwada may be knowing that this the day is the day on which the Marathwada has got freedom. So it is named after Swami Ramananda Tirth, who was leader of the Hyderabad freedom struggle, was a teacher who has established many institutions, educational institutions in pre and post independent area. Friends, every institute has some slogan. Like that, this university has a slogan called Sa Vidyaya Vimukte. Means knowledge that which liberates. To whom it will liberate? The students of this university will liberate through the knowledge. This university, in fourth cycle, it has been accredited as a B++ grade. The school follows school systems. You might be familiar that there are several schools in the campus. And this is the first university in India which established a COVID testing lab. This university has 2 sub-test centers at Latur as well as Parbhani, and one new model degree college at Hingoli. So also one tribal center at Kinwat. The chancellor of this university is Honorable Sri Bhagat Singh Koshyari ji, His Excellency Governor of Maharashtra. Then Vice Chancellor Honorable Dr. Uddhavji Bhosle, Pro Vice Chancellor Honorable Dr. J.M. Bisen sir, Registrar Honorable Dr. Sarjarao Shinde sir, and this university has about more than 550 acres of land for its use, and it caters the needs of the students from 4 districts, namely Nanded, Latur, Parbhani, and Hingoli. Now, I will turn, this was a relation in short about the university. So by website and through other sources, you may get much information about the university. So university has a long history of 26 years, 26 to 27 years. The Knowledge Resource Center, formerly it was called as a University Library, Central University Library, University Central Library. But now, after the Maharashtra Public University Act 2016, the university is renamed as a Knowledge Resource Center. In Marathi, we call it as a Jnana Srot Kendra. So it was before the establishment of the university as a sub-center of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University. Just you have seen the picture of the Knowledge Resource Center. It is a huge eagle-shaped Knowledge Resource Center building. You might have seen a logo of this university. In logo, there is an eagle. And based on that, the building of this university library is eagle-shaped. It is like taking off aeroplane in the sky. And the library is located at the central place, surrounded by schools. All schools are surrounded by the library, and this library, that is knowledge resource center, is having more than 78,000 books, 6,000 plus bound volumes, theses, microfilms, reports, and special collection on Hyderabad freedom struggle. So this is about the collection and establishment of the library. Then this university library or knowledge resource center has large number of e-resources, and we have access to e-Shodha Sindhu, which is developed by, which is given by Dr. Implemented, that is Information and Library Network, which is the part of the University Grant Commission. The knowledge resource center has a reading room which has capacity more than 420 students can occupy their seats at a time, and the reading room is open from morning 6 o'clock to late night 12. Then digitized, this KRC has digitized all theses and made available on Shodhganga. So no need to come to the library. So many times students come from long places for just referring thesis. Now no need to come to the library. All theses are available on your mobile, I can say. So just open your mobile and search on Google, put just Shodhganga word and put your topic. You will get all theses submitted to this university on your mobile. Then this knowledge resource center provides synopsis, city submission, plagiarism check services for the PhD students. Then other services like WebOPAC. So even WebOPAC is very useful for you. So whatever books are available in our library, you can search from your home, from your classroom, from your wherever you are. You can search whatever books are available in our library, and even you can see whether it is issued or not. If it is issued, you don't need to come to the library, but if it is available, you can come and collect that book. So this facility has been provided by this knowledge resource center. We also provide reference service, documented delivery service, and there are two services like Shodhganga and Shodhgangotri. Shodhganga, where all theses are deposited, all full text theses are available, and I'm happy to tell you that our university is on third position in Maharashtra, that we have contributed maximum number of like 100% thesis on our Shodhganga. And Shodhgangotri is a different repository. On that, all synopsis, you can see PhD pre-synopsis, or we can say thesis research proposals, PhD research proposals are available on Shodhgangotri. Even on that, we are second in India and first in Maharashtra. So we are contributing quite bit good for this Shodhganga and Shodhgangotri databases, and these both are very, very useful for you. If time permits, we'll again discuss on what is Shodhganga, how to search on Shodhganga, what is Shodhgangotri. There are a lot of things. Even for selecting topic, you need to go. You need to search Shodhganga. So or Shodhgangotri, how many topics has been already registered? So there should not be duplication. So for with the help of Shodhganga, you can find out research gaps on which area there has not been any research. So entire things, these databases, these repositories are very, very important for the researchers like you, right? Then this was regarding university in short and knowledge resource center. Now I hope that you are able to understand this about the university and knowledge resource centers. Coming to the next point, if it is not covered, I will go in detail. If it is covered, I will just skip the slides. So these are the PhD coursework guidelines. Let me tell you one more thing. I have recorded my 2 lectures on this PhD coursework guidelines, which are available on YouTube in both languages, in Marathi as well as English. So if you want to know about the coursework guidelines in detail, so you can visit my YouTube channel, and so that you can understand. So in even Marathi, I have discussed all these things in Marathi because many students, there was a request that you should. So PhD work, coursework guidelines, which there are 3 papers, more than that, 5 papers are there, but on screen there are 3 papers which you can able to see. Then first paper is research methodology. It is of 3 credits and 75 marks. Duration of examination is 3 hours, and university will conduct the examination. For passing, you have to at least obtain 50% marks. Then second paper has 2 parts, section 1 and section B. In section B, A is a computer application having 2 credits, 50 marks. Duration of this is 2 hours, and for this university conducts examination. Again, you have to for passing there is a 50% marks are essential. Then computer application section B is of 1 credit, is of 25 marks, and it is continuous internal evaluation by concerned supervisor. Your guide will give you a mark by taking to again is related to research and publication ethics. This is a newly introduced paper. Let me tell you that many students from last batch has faced difficulties for this paper. The research and publication ethics is somewhat new paper and somewhat difficult to understand. But again, if you listen carefully all the lectures, if you study, there is no any hard and fast thing. So for this paper, again, you need to complete 2 credits of 50 marks. The examination will be for 2 hours, and university will conduct examinations. And again, you need to have 50% mark for passing. Then fourth paper is foundation and philosophy of research based on basic knowledge of. So this is this fourth paper and fifth paper is totally on your supervisor or your guide, and this 3 to pass first, then fourth and fifth paper you can pass up to your submission. So the fourth paper is foundation and philosophy of research based on basic knowledge of core research domain. You have 4 credits, 100 marks. There is no such time duration of examination. You have to complete the assignments given by your supervisor. It is continuous internal evaluation by concerned supervisor through review of literature for 40 marks, reading, test and assignments. Marks and 2 assignments, and design of experiments methods 50% marks. That is 50 marks. And fifth paper is paper on research topic, that is specific, and it has seminar, conferences, symposium, participation 1 credit, that is 25 marks, and research paper publication 1 credit, that is 25 marks. Then workshop training related subject 1 credit of 25 marks, and preparation of research proposal that we are going to prepare, that is 1 credit for 25 marks. So overall 100 marks, and out of 100 marks you have to complete, you have to obtain 50% mark, that is 50 marks. So overall there are 5 papers with 16 credits, that is 16 credits, and then of 400 marks. So this is overall structure of the coursework. Then there are some instructions. So there are instructions, I will just read out it. Internal evaluation shall be carried out by the supervisor, and records of evaluation are to be kept by the supervisor till the award of the degree, and the consolidated mark statement should be submitted to the university. So this is first instruction. Then research student must pass paper number 1, 2, 3. So this is very important instructions for you. The research student must pass in paper number 1, 2, 3 of pre-PhD coursework to qualify for submission of pre-synopsis for confirmation of registration, and research topic by concern RRC and other evaluation related to paper number 4 and 5 that is internal evaluation to be carried out by supervisor to be submitted before submission of final PhD synopsis to the university. So first you have to pass the 3 papers, that is 1, 2, and 3. And in second paper, there is a continuous assignment, or there are few marks, 25 marks for the supervisor. Rest of the things, university worldwide will conduct your examination. And the fourth paper are totally taken by your research supervisor, and it has been there are 200 marks, 100 marks each, and it can be the submission of your final PhD synopsis. Okay, so this is very easy thing. Then the above revised structure shall be applicable, that is applicable for you also. And so for MPhil, there are some exemptions that you can go for that. Then the syllabus, the objectives. This is the first paper, that is research methodology. There are several units, that is meaning, concept, nature, steps, types, and characteristics of research. This was the first topic. And the second topic, I have made it bold, italic, like that. So that is scientific inquiry, which is assigned for me for today's to deliver lecture on that topic. So this is a second topic from your syllabus. And there are several other topics, like unit number 2 has methods of research, then development of research proposals, then methods of data collection, methods of data analysis, then report writing and evaluation. So okay, so these are the 6 units. Different teachers will teach you each and every topic in this pre-PhD coursework. So you must be able to understand all these topics, and you have to write an examination on these topics. Okay, so this was related to first paper. The paper pattern for this is, as you can able to see on the screen. So it is for 75 marks, duration 3 hours, and pattern. So attempt any 5 questions. Question number is 1 is compulsory. You have to attempt any 4 questions, other 4 questions, and all questions carry equal marks. So first question is write short notes on any 3 out of 5. So each note can carry 5 marks, that is 5 into 3, 15 marks. Then second paper, second question, third question, and fourth question are of descriptive questions, carry 50 marks each. Then fifth question is write short brief notes on A and B. Then 6, 7, 8 are again descriptive questions. So this is the pattern of first paper. So please keep in mind that each and every paper, so each paper has a different paper pattern. So question paper first is a different, second is different, and third is different. That is somewhat a special thing in this PhD coursework. Then second paper is of computer application. So paper 2, computer application, section 1 and section 2, as I have discussed earlier. And in section A, there is 2 credit and 50 marks. MS Word is there. Then MS Excel there is there. MS PowerPoint is there, and English word processors are there. This is a topic. And second topic section is very important. And as being a librarian, I would ask you, please go through this syllabus, because this syllabus is very important. As a research scholar, you will get entire experience, entire knowledge regarding what is Implement, what is JSTOR, what is online resources, what is Springer. This is a very again very important topic. Though it might be that a few research guides may not give you an assignment, ask them just to complete somehow. But being a research scholar, you give good attention on this topic. So in that, you have to use of internet for research activities, then use of online journals for research activities, then using search engines like Google and others, using Implement. So Implement, there are various digital initiatives by Implement. Just I have told you about Shodhanga, Shodhangotri. Then there is IntCAT database. So there is a bibliographic database of thesis. If any thesis is not available on the Shodh Ganga, that thesis, the bibliographic information of that thesis might be available on IndCat. So there are different databases. JSTOR is also a database. Then Springer. Then there are using virtual libraries, how to use virtual libraries, communicating with scholars through lists, groups, and other internet resources helpful for scholastic activities. Then concepts related to social sciences, commerce, management, arts, educations. Then computer application software related to research topic. So if you are doing any research in sciences, if you have any software for that, even softwares like SPSS, etc., you may need to know. So this is, though there are for this topic, that is 25 marks. Again, it is up to your guide, that research supervisor may assign any question on that, and he has to assign the marks. So there is no university examination for this, but still that this paper is very important for you. Then the pattern you can see on the screen for section A. So it has 50 marks, duration 2 hours. You have to write any 3 questions, and there are 2 questions which are compulsory. That is question number 1 and question number 5. Question number of short notes on AD, attempt any 4 out of 5, and even the syllabus so given on which syllabus the question will be there. And other questions are descriptive questions, and each question carry 20 marks. In first paper, each question query was carrying 15 marks. In second, each question carry 20 marks. That is the difference. And then third paper is again very important, as it is new. Very few books, just 2 books which are available in our library on this research and publication ethics. So this is entirely there are no such books. Even online material is very less, and the language of this online material is very difficult to understand, and that's why you must concentrate on this paper, because it is for 50 marks, and it is difficult for many students of last batch. Then in this syllabus, the syllabus covers unit number 1 is philosophy of and ethics. Then introduction to philosophy, definition, etc. Then ethics. Then scientific conduct is a different topic, second unit. Then publication ethics. Then open access publishing. Then unit number 5 is of databases, software tools, and research metrics. So indexing databases, citation databases, Web of Science, Scopus. Then use of plagiarism softwares like Turnitin, Urkund, and other open software tools. And then research metrics is there, impact factor of journals. Then citation reports, SNIP, SJR, IPP, CT score. So these are the topics, not so hard, but new. And you have to understand these topics truly, so that you can write well in your examinations, and you can score good marks in this paper also. So the paper pattern is like that. It is of 50 marks, duration 2 hours, and the each questions has a different marks, unlike first paper and second paper. So first is write short notes on unit 1, essay type question on unit 2, third essay question type unit 3, then short notes on 1, 2, 3, and then essay type. So, and overall it is of 50 marks, and that you have to write. This is a university examination, and you have to complete this paper also. Okay, so this is about the PhD courseworks syllabus. So just I have completed 3 parts of my lectures. The first one was regarding introducing about university, second university knowledge centers, and third was regarding PhD coursework guidelines. So PhD courseworks, it is again, it will take time to discuss in detail about the entire syllabus, but I will just, as being a second lecture, I thought that I should give some information on this syllabus also. Okay, I hope you understand. If you have any questions on this. Okay, let us move to the topic which is assigned to me for today's lecture. And that is scientific inquiry. So what is scientific inquiry? That we will see. The scientific inquiry is related to the research, and then for that we would like to know what is research. So you are familiar, that is what is research. Research is a search again and again, that is a research. Then if you see the definitions of the research, so what it says, it is a systematic inquiry into a subject in order to discover or revise facts, theories, etc. You will understand the importance of the word inquiry. I have highlighted the word inquiry in the definition of the research. लक्षात येतंय? मी इन्क्वायरी हा शब्द हायलाइट केलेला आहे. याच्यामध्ये प्रत्येक डेफिनेशन मध्ये इन्क्वायरी हा शब्द आलेला आहे. संशोधनाच्या प्रत्येक मध्ये there is a word inquiry, and that's why the topic which is assigned for me, that is scientific inquiry, is a very important in the research. So research is a systematic inquiry into a subject in order to discover something new or revise facts or theories. So this is what first definition. The second definition by Webster, and that says studious inquiry or examination, especially critical and exhaustive investigations having of new facts and their correct interpretation, the revision of accepted conclusions, theories, or light of newly discovered facts or practical applications of new or revised conclusions. So this definition is somewhat descriptive definitions, which says that the research is examination, research is inquiry, it is investigation, it is experimentations. So how many words it has been used? Inquiry, examination, investigation. Of what? For what? For discovery of new facts, or for interpretation or revision of accepted conclusions or theories or laws, or newly discovered facts or practical application of new or revised conclusions. So these are the things. In Marathi we can call as, म्हणजे या व्याख्येचा साधारणतः अशा प्रकारचा अर्थ होतो की याच्यामध्ये अभ्यासपूर्ण चौकशी किंवा परीक्षा किंवा सर्वसमावेशक तपासणी किंवा प्रयोग हे कशासाठी करायचे आहेत? तर नवीन तथ्य शोधणे, त्यांचे योग्य अर्थ लावणे, स्वीकारलेले निष्कर्ष, सिद्धांत किंवा नवीन शोधलेल्या तथ्यांच्या किंवा कायद्यांच्या किंवा सिद्धांताच्या व्यवहारात काय उपयोग होतो, कसा होऊ शकतो, हे शोधणे, याला आपण संशोधन असं म्हणतो. Then next definition is by Random House Dictionary. It says research is systematic inquiry in facts or theories. Okay, so these are the three definitions through which we can see that research is inquiry, or examination. It may be an investigation or revision of facts to discover new theories or revise theories. So research is to find out something new or revise something. Okay, so this is in short about the research. Then what is science? You are familiar with science. So physics, chemistry, zoology, botany, there are different subjects. Even nowadays we are calling as a social science. We are calling as your school is educational sciences. We call library and information science. Everyone is thinking that our subject is a science. How it is? So whatever the things which are systematic, that is called as a science. So there should be some law, there should be some rules, and the base of that subject should be in a systematic order. So that time it called as a science. The study and knowledge about physical world and natural laws. There are different subjects. I will not go in detail on the science. Then what is scientific? Scientific, in Marathi call it as a Vaidnanic, Shastriya. Let me tell you the Marathi word for scientific inquiry. Vaidnanic Chaukashi. Scientific means Vaidnanic or Shastriya. And inquiry, the meaning of inquiry in Marathi, in general, it is a Chaukashi, but in research, the word used Prucha. Prucha is a word, Pracha, Prucha, like that. So scientific word, scientific inquiry is a Vaidnanic Chaukashi, Shastriya Chaukashi. Shastriya is more concrete word, I can say, more particular word in Marathi, that is शास्त्रीय पद्धतीने. आपण प्रत्येक वेळा म्हणतो की हे प्रत्येक गोष्ट अगदी शास्त्रीय पद्धतीने झालं पाहिजे. म्हणजे शास्त्रीय पद्धतीने म्हणजे काय, तर त्याचं समर्पक उत्तर तुला आपल्याला मिळालं पाहिजे, अंदाज नसला पाहिजे किंवा एक अझम्पशन नसलं पाहिजे की मला असं वाटतं. I will just tell you one story. I was listening a lecture by Janabandhu of Yashwantrao Maharashtra Mukta Vidyapit regarding this scientific inquiry. He has given very good example. He has asked to his students in which direction sun rises. म्हणजे सूर्य कोणत्या दिशेला उगवतो. तर साहजिक आहे आपण उत्तर देतो की सूर्य पूर्व दिशेला उगवतो. हे झालं जनरल उत्तर. आपण म्हणजे ज्याला म्हणतो ना कॉन्सेप्ट याच्यामध्ये की कॉमन सेन्स हा जो प्रकार आहे, इन कॉमन सेन्स वी से इट एज दॅट सन रायजेस इन द ईस्ट, बट द ऍक्च्युअल आन्सर or a person who is thinking scientifically, he may say something different. So there is an answer from the students, the sun not rises or something. असं म्हणतो ना आपण, सूर्य उगवतही नाही, सूर्य मावळत नाही. सन इज at one place, earth takes rounds around the sun. बरोबर आहे की सूर्य हा उगवत नाही, पूर्वेला उगवत नाही, पश्चिमेला उगवत नाही, तो एकाच जागी स्थिर आहे. पृथ्वी त्याच्या सभोवती फिरते. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज somewhat scientific questions, thinking like a scientist. So the common sense is different, but if you think it logically, you may get something different answer. Like everyone was looking that the fruit was falling from tree, but no one has discovered the laws. Only Newton has discovered the Newton's laws. की ते फळ याच्या झाडावरून पडलं खाली आणि गुरुत्वाकर्षणाचा शोध लागला. So that is important. So think it differently, that becomes a scientific. And if you are thinking like a common person, so that whatever you are saying, it is correct, If you go beyond that, that time it is called as a scientific inquiry. I hope you understand. There are several definitions, and much topic is there, but in simple language, in simple example, the question, the answer given by student with the help of common sense was correct, that sun rises in the east. But beyond that, you have to think. Scientific means connected with or involving with science, used about a way of thinking or doing something careful or logical. So logical is there and careful is there. In third definition, relating to exhibiting the methods or principles of science, then conducted the manner of science or according to results of investigation by science, practicing or using through or systematic methods of science, advertising scientific baby care. Okay, these are the examples. But in short, the scientific means, I will, for my Marathi students, I will just define it in Marathi, that विज्ञानाच्या पद्धती किंवा तत्वाशी संबंधित त्यांचे प्रदर्शन, एखादी गोष्ट करण्याचा किंवा तिचा विचार करण्याच्या पद्धतीबाबत वापर, म्हणजे काळजीपूर्वक आणि तर्कशुद्ध, विज्ञाननिष्ठ आणि शास्त्रशुद्ध अशा पद्धतीचं हे जे असतं त्याला आपण सायंटिफिक असं म्हणतो, की शास्त्रीय पद्धतीनं आपण एखादी गोष्ट करतो त्याला आपण सायंटिफिक असं म्हणतो. अँड द नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज इन्क्वायरी. So what is inquiry? Inquiry is an approach to learning that involves the process of exploring the natural and or material world, and that leads to asking questions, making discoveries, and testing those discoveries in the search for new understanding. अतिशय सिंपल आणि छान व्याख्या इथे दिलेली आहे. याच्यामध्ये काय म्हणतात? इन्क्वायरी इज अन अप्रोच टू लर्निंग. वैज्ञानिक संकल्पना शिकण्यासाठीचा हे कौशल्य आहे, अप्रोच आहे, वे आहे. दॅट इज द वे टू लर्न. हाऊ टू लर्न? सो दॅट इज इन्क्वायरी इज वे टू लर्न. इफ यू आस्क क्वेश्चन्स, इवन चाइल्ड आस्क क्वेश्चन्स, सो मेनी क्वेश्चन्स चाइल्ड आस्क, व्हाय इट इज सो, असंच का, अशा पद्धतीचे प्रश्न ज्यावेळेस मुलगा विचारतो, लहान मुलगा विचारतो, दॅट कॅन बी कॉल्ड ॲज अ पृछा, दॅट कॅन बी कॉल्ड ॲज अ इन्क्वायरी. ही इज eager to know why so. And if you want to learn something, so the inquiry is an approach for learning. So how you can learn? You can learn by asking questions. So it is a first thing. So scientific inquiry is like asking questions. Ask anything. You just go on asking. You don't be satisfied what people says. You don't satisfied what common book says. You must be go to the depth for understanding of any problem. So that is the thing. In inquiry, you have to ask questions. Then second, you have to discover something, and you have to test all the discoveries for search of new understanding. If you want to understand something, then you need to do the inquiry. Inquiry as it relates to the science education should mirror as closely as possible the enterprise of doing real science. की याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला science education is like a mirror. It's said that. Okay. Then what is inquiry and inquiry? So this is a very common thing that sometimes we write INQUIRY or sometimes we write ENQUIRY. In general, they are synonymous. There is no much difference between in those two words. The only difference is that in USA, it is those people use INQUIRY, whereas in British people use ENQUIRY. there is a small difference, that is formal or official investigation. If it is formal and official investigation, and in inquiry, that is British inquiry, it is less formal investigation. In inquiry, there is interesting, inspiring, in-depth, whereas in inquiry, there is enabling, entry level, Googleable, finite, and in inquiry that are worth asking, and in inquiry, questions that are already answered. So this is just a difference between inquiry and inquiry. If the answers which are already known, if you want to know, if you are asking questions for the answers, those who are known by other many persons, so that time it is called as inquiry. Whereas the questions which are somewhat tricky, somewhat scientific, and from which you want to know something new, that time it is called as a inquiry. So this is a simple difference between the word inquiry and inquiry. But again, there is no such much difference between these terms. So don't bother about this difference. Okay. Next is very important. What is inquiry and versus research? What is the difference between inquiry and research? So inquiry is the process of finding answers to the questions. So it is a very simple. So whatever questions are there in your mind, you just ask and find answer. It is called as an inquiry. Whereas research is the systematic and formal investigation. Research is the systematic and formal investigation. And study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये साधारणतः चौकशी मध्ये तुम्हाला नवीन नवीन प्रश्नाची शोधण्याची प्रक्रिया आहे आणि संशोधन मध्ये वेगवेगळे निष्कर्षापर्यंत तुम्हाला पोहोचायचं, तथ्य स्थापित करायचंय, नवीन निष्कर्षापर्यंत तुम्हाला पोहोचायचंय आणि त्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला पद्धतशीर आणि औपचारिक अशी तपासणी करायची. तर ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला कराव्या लागतात. अगेन रिसर्च इज इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन ॲज इन आवर डेफिनेशन. म्हणजे सुरुवातीला मी जे डेफिनेशन सांगितले त्याच्यात तुमच्या लक्षात आलं असेल की रिसर्च, व्हॉट इज रिसर्च? रिसर्च इज अ सिस्टमॅटिक इन्क्वायरी आर स्टडीज इन्क्वायरी. म्हणजे वेगवेगळे अलंकार वापरले असले तरी शेवटी इट इज अ इन्क्वायरी. रिसर्च इज अ बेसिकली इन्क्वायरी ऑफ सर्टन थिंग्स, बट इट इज अ सिस्टमॅटिक अँड फॉर्मल इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन. हा सखोल असा शोध आहे आणि त्याच्यातून नवीन काहीतरी तुम्हाला शोधून काढायचं आहे, नवीन फॅक्ट शोधायचे आहेत, नवीन निष्कर्ष काढायचे आहेत. तर अशा पद्धतीचा हा छोटासा डिफरंट. इन्क्वायरी इज द बिगिनिंग ऑफ रिसर्च, आय कॅन से लाईक दॅट. सो ही जी चौकशी आहे, ही जी पृच्छा आहे, तो संशोधनाची सुरुवात आहे आणि त्याच्यातूनच तुम्हाला नवनवीन गोष्टी शिकायला मिळतील, नवीन शोध तुम्हाला इथे लागणार आहे. देन फॉर्म्स अँड एलिमेंट्स ऑफ इन्क्वायरी. त्याच्यामध्ये कुठल्या कुठल्या गोष्टी याच्यामध्ये आहेत, कुठल्या कुठले फॉर्म्स आहेत, कुठले कुठले एलिमेंट्स आहेत, हे आपण पाहणार आहोत. देर आर 4 फॉर्म्स ऑफ इन्क्वायरी दॅट आर कॉमनली यूज्ड इन इन्क्वायरी बेस्ड इन्स्ट्रक्शन्स. First one is a confirmation inquiry. Learners are given a question as well as a method to which the end result is already known. So just one need to confirm. तुम्हाला खात्री करून घ्यायची आहे की प्रश्नाचं उत्तर तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, ते विद्यार्थ्याला येतंय की नाही. अशा पद्धतीने मी एखादा प्रश्न विचारला तुम्हाला, मला माहित आहे की तुम्हाला येतं म्हणायचं, किंवा मला माहित आहे की त्याचं उत्तर काय आहे, बट आय वुड लाईक जस्ट आय आस्क यू for my confirmation. That is called as a confirmation inquiry. Then second one is a structured inquiry. So the answers are given, you have to just take mark like objective questions. And then third one is a guided inquiry. So there might be given clues, etc. And the fourth one is open inquiry. So these are the 4 types of forms of inquiry. So confirmation, structured, guided, and open inquiry. Okay. Then just 1 minute. Then what are the elements of inquiry? So reflection, critical thinking, and research. There are three elements, तीन घटक याचे आहेत. रिफ्लेक्शन, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, चिकित्सक विचार पद्धती किंवा असं म्हणू आपण त्याला, आणि संशोधन. अशा पद्धतीचे देर आर थ्री एलिमेंट्स ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन्स. ओके. So these are related to the word inquiry. So what is inquiry? Then what are the forms of the inquiry and what are the elements of inquiry that we have just covered. Then we'll go forward for scientific inquiry. So there are different definitions of scientific inquiry. Scientific inquiry refers to research and study that scientists carry out. जे शास्त्रज्ञ किंवा वैज्ञानिक आपण ज्याला म्हणतो, जे चौकशी करतात किंवा संशोधन करतात, अभ्यास करतात, त्याला आपण सायंटिफिक इन्क्वायरी असं म्हणतो. संशोधन करण्यासाठी रिसर्च अँड स्टडी, बोथ द थिंग्स आर देयर. संशोधन आणि अभ्यास करण्यासाठी जे सायंटिस्ट करत असतात त्याला आपण सायंटिफिक इन्क्वायरी असं म्हणतो. They perform all the research and gather evidences to prove the theory in questions. So wherever you are doing research, there is always a question that you have to prove or disprove. So that is the thing. And for that, they do research, they gather data, evidences, facts, and based on that, they prove or disprove theory questions. The result derived from the research are made public so that others can study about that subject and know the things around the world. So wherever results are derived, those results are made public, are declared to all the persons. Then scientific inquiry is the form of problem solving and questioning that helps people come to greater understanding of observable phenomena. Again, inquiry is asking questions. So in science, you have to ask the questions to know the answer, to solve the problem, or to understand any phenomena. So this is a scientific inquiry. Again, an understanding of the style of scientific reasoning form the basis upon which the nature of science itself rests. So this is somewhat depth definitions. So scientific inquiry is an understanding of the style of scientific reasoning forms the basis upon which the nature of science itself rests. So this is there are few simple definitions. Again, science inquiry allows students to take an active role in understanding their science learning. If you are learning a science, I can say anything. If you are learning, even if you are doing research, if you're listening my lecture and if you understand, then there should be some questions in your mind. And unless and until you will not ask those questions, you will not understand the subjects. And that's why it is essential to ask questions, and it is nothing but the inquiry. So science inquiry allows what it helps students to take active role in the understanding. Then science inquiry transforms learning from watching and listening to doing. So what is the function of this science inquiry? It transforms learning. So you are learning. What learning means, what you are doing, you are listening and you are watching the screen. So you are listening my lecture. Whatever I am speaking, you are listening. Whatever written on the screen through the PPT that you are seeing, you are able to see on your mobiles. You might be maybe copying that, but it is not sufficient. Science inquiry will complete only you do something. Okay, So just watching and listening is a learning, but if you start to do something, so एक स्थित्यंतर आहे, म्हणजे वैज्ञानिक चौकशी किंवा शास्त्रीय चौकशी हे एक स्थित्यंतर आहे, एक बदल आहे जो तुमचा अध्ययनाचं म्हणजे ऐकणे, श्रवण आणि निरीक्षण याच्या पुढे जाऊन ज्यावेळेस तुम्हाला काहीतरी करण्यासाठी करावं लागतं किंवा काहीतरी करायला तुम्ही तयार होता, that time it is called as a scientific inquiry or science inquiry. Science inquiry involves activities and skills in active search for understanding. So there should be involvement. You should do some activities. You should have some skills in active search for understanding. Science inquiry engages students in the investigative nature of science. So in doing different things. Then science inquiry is the active construction of ideas and forming of connections. So is the active construction. So in short, if you do scientific inquiry, you can do something for yourself, not just listening or just obeying the orders. Practically, you have to do something. That means the scientific inquiry. So when it has been developed, just let me tell you about this scientific inquiry. Though this is a very small topic, but I have searched many books. Only 1 or 2 books I found this theory, that is scientific inquiry in theory book, in research methodology book. Many authors have skipped this topic, though this is a very simple topic, small topic. Even Kumar sir called me and asked me to deliver lecture on scientific inquiry. I was thinking that it is a very small topic and how I can deliver lecture for 2 hours on this topic. But when started to read the theory, when I started to search different information on this inquiry, scientific inquiry, I found many things. But there are some differences even in opinion of the authors. You can see if you see the original and development, the scientific method was used even in ancient times, but it was first documented by England's Sir Francis Bacon, was again a philosopher who set up inductive methods for scientific inquiry. So around his 1956 to 1626, somewhere he has developed documented the word scientific inquiry. But again, in another book or in another document, it is said that scientific method was in 1930. The first in scientific method observation. So there is some opinion, but when science can say scientific inquiry happened. So there is no such, but as a theory, you can see that the Sir Francis Bacon has given this word scientific inquiry. And what is the purpose of scientific inquiry? So these are the small. Then what is the purpose? What is the meaning? So meaning we now understand. So what is the meaning of scientific inquiry? Now let us understand what is the purpose of scientific inquiry. Scientific inquiry uses evidences from observations to answer questions related to science. The purpose of this scientific inquiry to collect evidences through observations, investigations, by which you are able to give logical explanations and you will be able to answer questions related to the science. So for answering questions related to science, create logical explanations, scientific inquiry is essential. That is the purpose of scientific inquiry, to find out the answer to the questions. So that is the purpose. म्हणजे याचा हेतू काय आहे की प्रश्नाची उत्तर शोधणे, वैज्ञानिक शास्त्रीय प्रश्नाची उत्तर शोधणे, याच्यासाठी विचारण्यात जाणारे प्रश्न, या संदर्भात केलेली निरीक्षणं, या संदर्भात घेतलेला शोध, या संदर्भात केलेले लॉजिकल स्पष्टीकरण, ह्या सगळ्याचा तून सायंटिफिक इन्क्वायरीचा हेतू साध्य होतो. Then what are the characteristics of scientific inquiry? So scientific inquiry extends beyond development of process such as. So scientific inquiry, what it does in scientific inquiry, you have to observe something, observing, inferring, classifying, predicting, measuring, questioning, interpreting, and analyzing data. So these are the things which are happen in proper scientific inquiry. So these are the characteristics of the scientific inquiry, that there are observation, inferration, and then classification, prediction, measuring, questions, interpretations, and analysis of data. So these are the characteristics through which one can complete this scientific inquiry. So these are the characteristics of the scientific inquiry. Then what are the functions of the scientific inquiry? So there are two ways of scientific inquiry, function of the inquiries. Two authors has given different functions. First author has said that the first function, it explains how to conduct a scientific inquiry. And second one, the function is to explain why it is essential to arrive at knowledge at the end of the process. So how to conduct inquiry, or how to conduct a scientific inquiry, and explanation regarding how to arrive at the knowledge. So these are the four functions given by one author, whereas another author has described scientific inquiry has two primary functions. What it says, it provides a description of how scientific inquiry is conducted in practice. So it gives ways and methods, or it gives a description, gives steps for conducting a scientific inquiry. And secondly, it gives explanation of why scientific inquiry is successful in arriving at genuine knowledge at the end of its process. So these are the two functions, written in different way, but the similar meaning. So you must understand functions of scientific inquiry. Then what is the importance of scientific inquiry? See, the importance, functions, need, then characteristics. It is a writing skill. So you can, same sentence, you can write different way. The scientific inquiry, what is the importance here? What it written, that scientific inquiry involves students progressively developing key scientific ideas through learning how to investigate. So importance of the scientific inquiry, that because of scientific inquiry, students get involved in developing key scientific ideas, as well as they can know how to investigate. So this is the importance of the scientific inquiry. In this way, students build their knowledge and understanding of the world around them through the process of inquiry. So it is a very important for the students, specifically science students. Their knowledge needs to build up on the basis of understanding, and for this, for the development of knowledge, it is essential to go through the process of inquiry. So this is the importance of the scientific inquiry, is to develop knowledge and understanding of the students by the way of questions, asking questions. Then what are the types of inquiry? The first one is comparative. Just compare or just test whether it is true or false, whether it is correct or whether it is wrong, whether it is large or whether it is small or big. So you have to just compare whether it's thin or like that. Okay, so comparison or you just test whether it, how you test whether it is sweet or any test, bitter, like that. So comparison or testing is the first type of scientific inquiry. So asking questions like that. Then doing research is the second one. Third one, observation over time. So you just observe, go on observing. So that is third one. Then fourth one is a pattern seeking, how it is, how the pattern is. Then identifying, grouping, and classifying. So for any problem, you have to identify, group those problems or data which are collected by, and then you have to classify that. So identifying, grouping, and classifying is one type of scientific inquiry, and the last one is a problem solving. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of scientific inquiries there: comparative, research, observation, pattern seeking, identifying, grouping, and okay. So these are 5 types of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of types. Then method. What are the methods of scientific inquiry? So two methods are given, that is inductive and deductive and inductive methods. So in inductive method did not provide any completely system for the solution. If you compare one method, it will not. Random collection of individual without unifying concept or focus often observed investigation and therefore rarely led to generalization or theory. The method of inductive reasoning we used by scientists as a most reliable, valid method of scientific inquiry. So this is one method. The controversy of inductive or deductive has been neglected, and okay, background on the integration of both the methods to arrive at logical conclusion. For logical conclusion, you can use this inductive method, and inductive and deductive method is also example of scientific approach. Okay, so these are two methods of scientific inquiry. There are several on the screen. Then this identification of the problem, definition of the problem, formulation of hypothesis or research question, collection, organization and analysis data, interpretation of results, verification, rejection or modification of the hypothesis, research questions, test by consequences in specific situation, formulation of conclusions and policy implementations. So it is like so these steps you can take for your research also. So first you have to identify the problem, then you have to define the problem, then you have to formulate hypothesis, you have to formulate research questions or objectives, you have to collect data, organize data, then you have to analyze data, you have to interpret data, and then you have to verify, you have to reject something or you have to modify hypothesis, and you have to formulate the conclusions, and you have anything to show that you can have the policy implications. So these are the steps are the primarily for the scientific inquiry. So also it can be for the research also. Then stages. First stage is purpose questions. Ask any question is inquiry. The first stage of scientific inquiry is ask. Then conduct research. Then propose hypothesis. Then perform any experiment. The collect data and record observations, analyze data, and come to the conclusions. So these are the steps of the scientific inquiry. Then the process of scientific inquiry. So how that inquiry goes. So you can see the recognizing incompleteness. So first is the motive. So there should be, if it is complete, there will be no research. If it is incomplete, we'll try to learn something. If we try, we'll try to know something or know what is completeness. So that is the first thing. Then discovery, development, and recognizing it. So these are three motives behind the scientific inquiry. Then in process, suggesting research questions, obtaining data, suggesting hypotheses. These are things. And in research results, discovering new data, articulating the theory, or falsifying the theory. So these are the three things. So motive, process, and results are the part of this of scientific inquiry. Again, this diagram gives you in different manner how process of scientific inquiry works. So scientific inquiry is a process of discovery. So it begins with the testable questions. So you have to ask a question where you know the answer. So testable question, you just have to test the knowledge. Then scientific investigation involve collecting evidences. Then explanations are evidence-based. Scientists communicate their results to their peers. So this is the first step. Then scientific learn about the natural world through scientific inquiry. It asks questions that can be answered through the investigations, design and carry out investigations, think logically, then communicate the procedures and explanations. Then again, scientists ask questions that can be answered through investigations, and scientific explanation emphasize on evidences. So these are 4 parts of the process of scientific inquiry. So how the process of scientific inquiry goes around, that can be seen on the screen. So in scientific inquiry, you can see materials, hypothesis, procedure, statement, conclusions, etc. Then in process, again, the question is in central place. Then personal knowledge, prediction, investigation plan, observation. So these are the things for the evaluation. Then you have to apply that knowledge. You have to give explanations. You have to go through the secondary knowledge, that is from books, etc. And you have to analyze the data which you have collected. So this is the process of the scientific inquiry. Again, the asking question is the key element of the process of scientific inquiry that you have to keep in mind. Then what are the skills required for scientific inquiry? Now, as a researcher, you have to do scientific inquiry many times. And there is much more than the development of process skills to scientific inquiry. This includes observing. Your observation must be good. You must be able to analyze data. You must interpret, infer. You must be able to ask questions, classify those, measures, predicting, etc. So the things specific scientists use the steps to make an inquiry. So these skills are required for the scientific inquiry or the researchers. In this diagram, again, the scientific inquiry skills has been explained. So questioning, observing, inferring, experimenting, collecting and organizing data, finding evidences and drawing conclusions, repeating the experiments several times, and peer review. So these are the skills which are required for a scientific inquiry. And then what are the principles of scientific inquiry? So all science, including the scientific study of education, have to observe a set of epistemological or fundamental guiding principles, like pose significant questions that can be empirically, link research to relevant theory. So you have to pose different questions, and that question should be important one, significant one. Then use methods that permit direct investigation to the questions. So wherever you are doing any research or you are doing any scientific, so the methods you are using, that should be direct investigations. Then provide a coherent and explicit chain of reasoning. So reasoning you have to give. Then yield findings that replicate and generalize it across the studies, and then disclose research data and methods to encourage professional scrutiny and integrity. So these are the principles that has to be kept in mind while doing a scientific inquiry. This is the cycle of inquiry again. So orientation, you must come up with the ideas and question on one topic. So example has been given. Then prediction, you have to predict. Then preparedness, investigation, and the last one is investigation. So this is a cycle of scientific inquiry. एखादा प्रश्न मनात आला पाहिजे, त्या प्रश्नाच्या बाबतीत तुमचं काही प्रिडिक्शन असलं पाहिजे, काही अंदाज लावले पाहिजेत. ते प्रश्न सोडवण्याच्या दृष्टीनं तुम्ही तुमची तयारी केली पाहिजे, त्याचा शोध घेतला पाहिजे आणि शेवटी तुम्ही घेतलेल्या शोधाचं इव्हॅल्युएशन केलं पाहिजे, मूल्यांकन केलं पाहिजे. ती इज द सायकल, ही सायंटिफिक इन्क्वायरीची लाईफ सायकल आहे. अगेन in simple way this author has designed this. We see, we wonder. तुम्ही एखादी गोष्ट पाहता आणि तुम्हाला काहीतरी आश्चर्य वाटतं. Then we explore, we investigate and we discover. मग हे का आहे हे आपण शोधण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. Try to know what is the science that. Then we share our thinking. मग आपलं जे काय whatever we think we share with our friends. Then we reflect and we act, we change, and then we'll try to find out something new. So that is the cycle of scientific inquiry. So again, this diagram explains you in different way about the cycle, scientific inquiry cycle. So there are different questions. So questions are asked at each step. The first is, what do I want to know and why? So first question is that what I want to do, or what I want to know and why. Then what will happen? Then what will I look for in my test? What I am trying to do? So these are the hypotheses that you have to give. This is the first one. Then you have to test. What will I do? Find out, is it a fair test? What equipments I will use? Okay. Then you have to observe. So is it as I expected? What happens like that? To see. Then record. Whatever things you have to record. How can collect data? How can remember my findings? Then once you have collected and recorded the data, you have to present in different manner. And once you have presented it, you have to reflect, you have to discuss with your colleagues, with the society. It might be in seminar conferences, or it might be in by writing research papers. So was I right? What was my hypothesis or my assumption was right? Then do my findings prove my hypothesis? How I changed my original? How does this link to my life? Can I talk about my findings with others? So these are the questions which can be asked in the reflect. Okay, this is a cycle of the inquiry. Different authors has put in different way, different diagrams. Okay, so this is a roadmap of scientific inquiry. So again, the first is theorizing, then imagining, reflecting, relating, completing, applying, and analyzing. So these are the roadmap for the scientific inquiry. So again, this is cycle stages or steps, we can say. Question, the first question, what can be discovered? Observe, what is noticed before, during, and after. So like we do our reviews, what was before, what research has been done on the topic, and what is going on the topic, what research is going on topic, and what will be in the future, that you have to do. Then you have to define your question. Then you have to focus on the questions, on which question you want to answer the questions. Just 1 minute. Then investigate, then develop, then carry out different steps, to find out your answer. Then examine what conclusions can be drawn. Then what can be do to find out that is called as reflection. And the last stage is a communication. So from asking questions to communication of your results. So entire things can be called as a right. So again, this is a diagram of scientific inquiry. So there are different: define a problem, form a question, investigate it, know, articulate explanation, carry out study, interpret results, reflect findings, and communicate findings. So this is again shown in different diagram. So there are different diagrams which are given, which are explained. This scientific inquiry term or concept has been explained through these different diagrams. So purpose of the study, then investigation method, observation, participating, how we are going to do, why, how, and then selection of different methods. So it is an investigative approach. Then there are different guidelines for scientific inquiry. So identify important problems, then generate, discover, describe, and construct new knowledge. Then explore, reflect upon, describe, predict, and explain the natural world. Then explicate values, purposes, commitments, and key background assumptions. And then produce warranted investigations and rely on multiple sources like evidences, leak, exploratory. So this is what we can say the guidelines. So for the scientific inquiry. Okay, so this was all related to the scientific inquiry. I just note down some questions which can be asked. Many times there is no question on scientific inquiry, but even some small questions on the scientific inquiry, like what do you mean by scientific inquiry? म्हणजे शास्त्रीय चौकशी किंवा वैज्ञानिक चौकशी किंवा वैज्ञानिक पृष्ठ म्हणजे काय, डिफाइन अँड डिस्कस द कन्सेप्ट ऑफ सायंटिफिक इन्क्वायरी, किंवा याच्यावर वैज्ञानिक चौकशी संकल्पनेची व्याख्या सांगून चर्चा करा, किंवा शॉर्ट नोट्स मध्ये पर्पज ऑफ सायंटिफिक इन्क्वायरी, कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ सायंटिफिक इन्क्वायरी, कदाचित दोन मिळून म्हणजे 2 points can be taken together and ask one short note like that. That is purpose, characteristics, functions, importance, types, methods of scientific inquiry, steps of scientific inquiry, stages, process, skills, principles, cycles, and roadmaps. So this is all about the scientific inquiry. Thank you for your attendance, your interest, your patience. Only one student was drawing something on screen. All other students are very patient. They were listening attentively. I hope you not slept in my lecture because this is a summer season and good lunch, and it might be there that a few students are asleep now also. Okay, thank you authors because these presentations. Now I expect your comments, your suggestions, your doubts, your questions. Okay. So yes, you may raise your question. My first question to you all, that whether you understand the topic, that is the question. समजलंय तुम्हाला काही का सगळं डोक्यावरून गेलं? Parag sir, can you unmute them?
Yes, sir, I am doing that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I am Vijay Anand. Very nice full session. And if possible, can you send all the PPTs in our group?
Yes, sir. Want to ask you one question regarding that inquiry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, is there any difference between the inquiry to inquiry before knowing something or inquiry after knowing something?
Inquiry before knowing something.
Yes, it means कि अगर मुझे किसी चीज के बारे में कुछ पता करना है उसके लिए मैं इंक्वायरी करता हूँ, और कोई चीज जो मैंने जान ली है बट उसके रिगार्डिंग मुझे क्वेश्चंस है, तो इन दिस इंक्वायरी में कोई डिफरेंस है?
मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया था कि सूरज किस दिशा में निकलता है या राइज होता है, तो हम सबको पता है कि वो इस दिशा में निकलता है या पूरब दिशा में निकलता है, लेकिन साइंटिस्ट देयर आर टू वर्ड्स, वन इज अ साइंटिफिक एंड अनदर इज अ कॉमन सेंस। हम जब समझते हैं कि हमको पता है, तब हमें कॉमन सेंस रहता है कि ऐसा होता है। तो आप जो पहला क्वेश्चन था आपको कि हमको पहले पता होगा, हमको जो पता होता है दैट इज कॉमन सेंस, बट जब हम उसको क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, उसके ऊपर रिसर्च करते हैं, इन्वेस्टिगेट करते हैं, कुछ नया फाइंड आउट करते हैं, दैट टाइम इट बिकम्स द इंक्वायरी। वो सोचने के लिए जो इंक्वायरी करते हैं, इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते हैं, उसमें से कुछ नया थिंग निकलता है, न्यू नॉलेज होता है, नो इन्वेस्टिगेशन होता है, सो दैट टाइम्स इट इज अ साइंटिफिक इंक्वायरी। तो उसमें छोटा सा डिफरेंस है, जो हम कॉमन सेंस से बोलते हैं या जनरल थिंग हमको पता होता है। एक अच्छा एग्जांपल वही कल का जो मैंने बताया कि एक लेक्चर सुन रहा था इसके ऊपर, उन्होंने अच्छा उसमें लेक्चर में एक एग्जांपल बताया कि हम बोलते हैं कि हम क्या बोलते हैं, परिंदों के पंख जो उड़ते हैं उसके
पर गिनने वाले,
हाँ क्या बोलते हैं उसको,
उड़ते हुए परिंदों के पर गिनने वाले हैं।
हाँ, उडते हुए परिंदे को, आणि त्याने त्याच्या वेळेस उत्तर दिलं की अरे बाबा तुझं मागचं धोतर फिटतंय तुला पता लागत नाहीये, तो परिंदे। तशा पद्धतीच्या विज्ञानाची जी गोष्ट आहे की अनेक गोष्टी वी वर जस्ट हमको लगता है कि हमको मालूम है, लेकिन एक्चुअल त्याची रीजनिंग मालूम नहीं होती, एंड दैट इज एंडलेस प्रोसेस कि आज मुझे ये मालूम हो गया, आज ये मालूम हो गया तो कल उससे ज्यादा मालूम होता है। दैट इज रिसर्च इज एंडलेस प्रोसेस, लाइक साइंटिफिक इंक्वायरी इज आल्सो एंडलेस। और आप जो बोल रहे थे कि जो क्वेश्चन मालूम है, मालूम होने के बाद भी नया क्वेश्चन हमको मालूम करना है, सो दैट इज द इंक्वायरी। अगेन दैट इज रिसर्च, सर्च अगेन एंड अगेन। Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Sir, can you please explain the stages of scientific inquiry once again, sir, please?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So the stages which are given here, that is a purpose or a question, that is asking a question, then hypothesis, experiment, data analysis, and conclusions. So these are the stages of scientific inquiry. It is similar to the research. Research nothing but the scientific inquiry. You want to ask anything?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, right.
Sir, my question is regarding the guidelines for the course. So can I ask? Hello?
Yeah.
So in the guidelines
Yeah.
you mentioned that for students registered after PET 2020, they have to answer 3 papers. So what about the students who have registered before PET 2020? PET 2020, before PET 2020.
That you have to ask to the PG section. You have not completed the coursework then?
No, we have not completed the coursework. We are many of us who have not completed the coursework.
But registration is before 2020.
Yeah, registration is of
Sir,
2020.
एक्चुअली कोर्स वर्क का जब नोटिफिकेशन आया था तो उसमें मेंशन किया हुआ है कि जिनका रजिस्ट्रेशन 2020 के बिफोर है तो उनको जो इथिक्स का पेपर है वो देने की जरूरत नहीं होगी.
But better for proper understanding and proper answer, you contact PG section and your guide so that you will get proper answer. He has given correct answer. There is no doubt, but still you get it confirmed from PG section. Okay.
हेलो हेलो
Yes. Yes.
सर मैं लक्ष्मी देशमुख बात कर रही हूँ. एक्चुअली मेरा एमफिल से एग्जाम्शन है, यानी एमफिल हुआ है बायोटेक्नोलॉजी में.
ओके.
तो मुझे कौन से पेपर देने पड़ेंगे सर, क्योंकि मुझे एमफिल के वक्त कोर्स वर्क था.
Again, this is an individual question, madam.
Sorry to disturb you. Sorry to disturb you. Question regarding this problem, you must have to contact PGTV section for this.
Okay.
If any question regarding this lecture, you can ask here.
ओके सर. आई जस्ट आपने अभी बताया ना, सो आई थॉट कि आपको पूछ लेना कि कहाँ से मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी. पीजी सेक्शन में
Because we don't have exact knowledge about this.
Okay.
That's why we can't guide you about it.
Section, PG section.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I'm sorry.
Okay, sir. Can you please go to the roadmap of the scientific inquiry slide?
Just I have removed.
Sir, I would like to ask you one question. Can I? Could you please tell me examples of scientific methods of inquiry, inductive method and deductive method? I would like to know about the examples of these methods. So please could you tell me? Sir, are you listening? Hello, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. I just want to know about the examples of inductive method and deductive methods.
Sorry, not able to answer your question. I will try to give answer afterwards. You want to examples of inductive and deductive method? Examples of inductive and method.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, right now I can't, but I will explain later on.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. It's a nice question.
Any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
सर नोट्स मराठी भेटतील का?
मग संशोधन पद्धतीवर अनेक मराठी पुस्तकं उपलब्ध आहेत. संशोधन पद्धतीच्या या पेपर म्हणजे पहिला जो पेपर आहे त्याच्यावर मराठीमध्ये नोट्स आहेत, त्याच्यामुळे त्याच्यात काही अडचण येणार नाही. आणि सोपा पेपर आहे, फारसं काही अवघड नाही आहे.
ओके सर.
विद्यापीठाच्या ग्रंथालय ते ज्ञानस्रोत केंद्रात ते पुस्तक आहेत, किंवा तुम्ही जिथे आहात तिथलच्या ग्रंथालय ते तुम्हाला मराठीतली पुस्तकं मिळून जातील. साधारणतः आगलावेचं पुस्तक जास्त मुलं वापरतात, पण बाकी पुस्तकं चांगली आहेत मराठीतली. त्याच्याही पुढे जाऊन मुक्त विद्यापीठाची जी पुस्तकं आहेत संशोधन पद्धतीची ती चांगली आहेत. यशवंतराव चव्हाण महाराष्ट्र मुक्त विद्यापीठाची जी आहेत ते सुद्धा रेफर करा, चांगली पुस्तक आहेत.
Okay, sir.
Right.
I hope inductive method is directed to develop explanations,
Okay.
and deductive is directed to test the validity of explanations. Hope so.
Okay. Thank you.
Myself, Archana Deshpande.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Okay then. Let us conclude. Okay. Parag sir speaking or someone else who is speaking? May I know, sir?
Sir, I am Assistant Professor Nilkant Shravan.
Okay.
Just join on
Because
CHB
on
in
screen,
Educational Sciences.
on screen there is the name of Parag sir, and the voice is somewhat different. पराग सरच आहेत असं वाटलं, पण आवाज वेगळा येतो म्हणून विचारलं बाकी. चला, सर्वांचे आभार. थँक यू व्हेरी मच ऑल पार्टिसिपंट्स, and I wish all the best for your this coursework as well as your future research. And I'm also thankful the organizers for giving me opportunity to interact with all the participants. Thank you one and all.
Thank you very much, Jagdish Kulkarni sir. In the behalf of you, I will thank you all the participants to give your patience. Our next session will be tomorrow 11 a.m. Please join on time. Thank you so much for your guidance. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Parag sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sir. How the attendance will be taken and will it be shared with us? Amala attendance betel, sir.
Actually, for today we are not taking any attendance because we don't have the capacity of Zoom over the 100. But from tomorrow it will be resumed for over 100 participants for till 500 participants. Then from tomorrow we will take the attendance regularly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
टेस्ट नाही का ऑल बुलेट्सची मेयर्स टेस्ट नाही
Thank you, sir. आता उलट चालत इकडं काय करावं नाही लाईट थांबल